City's a dangerous place. I'll be with you in a second. Whew! I made it back to the room in one piece. Never let it be said that an explorer's quest doesn't get dangerous. My search has taken me to this mean part of Southeast Asia. You really gotta watch your step around here. I think I made a few enemies acquiring this. But I think it was worth it. Here, take a look.
Better hold on to your seat, because we're talking about Black Lagoon. I've just got 2 words to prepare you for this. Holy shit. Rokuro Okajima, or Rock as he prefers to be called, is a typical mild-mannered Japanese white-collar office slave at the bottom of the corporate totem pole, whose job is all about bowing his head and kissing his boss's ass. He gets sent on an assignment to deliver a data disk to Borneo, but en route, the ship transporting him across the South China Sea gets boarded by a small band of pirates, and Rock and the disk he's carrying are taken prisoner. So Rock finds himself drawn into their seedy and violent world of guns, drugs, hookers, mobsters, mercenaries, pirates, guerrillas, gunships, grenades, RPGs, neo-Nazis, killer maids, psychopathic kids.
Whoa, I'm getting way ahead of myself here.
Anyway, this ends up becoming a permanent transition when Rock finds out what he was transporting. It turns out, his company was dealing in plans for nuclear weapons. Now that the deal's gone south, they can't have their involvement going public, so they've had Rock declared dead and forbidden him to return. He's got nowhere else to go, except to the pirates who took him. So Rock becomes the 4th member of the Lagoon Company, which consists of Dutch, the leader.
Hey listen, let me give you some advice. Even bad guys have common sense. You hear me?
Benny, the computer expert.
Don't disappoint me, because if this turns out to be something that a junior high student could have come up with, then I'll have to charge you for wasting my time.
And then there's the show's real star, Revy. Now, I know what you're thinking. This isn't exactly a natural environment for a guy like Rock, but he soon earns his keep by getting them out of a tight situation. They end up in a shooting fight on their boat with this guy in a helicopter. They're outgunned, with nowhere to run, things look bad. But then, Rock comes up with the idea for them to do this. No, wait. Back that up. Let me see that again.
Yeah! You got fucked!
The crew operates mostly either on their little torpedo boat, called the Black Lagoon, or out of this place, Rowanapur, a coastal city in southeast Thailand that is home to the most vicious bastards and sleaziest scum to walk the earth. It's a place where just walking into a bar means taking your life into your hands, because at any minute, the place could turn into something out of a John Woo film. These guys take their jobs from wherever they can get them, but probably their most frequent employer is this woman, Balalaika, the head of the Russian mafia group called Hotel Moscow. Now, we've all seen our share of scary mob bosses in movies before, but her, damn. This is a woman you don't fuck with. Make an enemy of her, and you'll be lucky if a bullet to the head is all you get. This seems to be a predominant theme with this series, super badass women. Most of the particularly dangerous characters are female, while a lot of the male characters who act tough have a tendency to either get shot or blown up or... Ugh. And more often than not, it's the ladies who are doing it. So Revy would have to be the flag bearer of this trend. Yes, technically Rock is the character who leads the audience in, and it's usually his eyes we're watching everything through. He is the one who the audience is meant to identify with the most, the straight man to all the insanity. But it's Revy who really steals the show every step of the way, which you might not expect given the kind of person she is. To say Revy is fucked up just doesn't quite cover it. She's not exactly what you'd call immediately likable. She's rude, crude, quick to anger, and if you get on her bad side, she'll plug you full of holes without blinking. And yet, she'll most likely be the biggest reason you keep coming back for more. Why is that?
You tell me.
Okay, all kidding aside, there is more to Revy than just mindless gunplay and a pair of barely there cutoffs. We get some brief glimpses into her fucked up childhood, growing up in the ghettos, stealing and killing to get by. Even though she may not be the kind of person most of us would want to meet, we can at least understand her. Take a look at this scene right here. Rock and Revy are infiltrating a sunken German U-boat in search of an antique painting. Having found it, Revy sets about looting the corpses of the crew for trinkets and valuables to sell. Rock protests this, calling it disrespectful, saying these things have too much personal value to be callously taken and hawked. Listen to how Revy responds.
Let me ask you something. See this and this? What would you say these two things are?
The first one's an old skull, and that's some sort of metal.
That's where you're wrong. Both of these are just things. As soon as you strip away their meanings, then that's all they really are. Just things and nothing more. And if you're gonna give these things any kind of meaning again, they won't get any of their value because they're someone's precious memory. Their value will be determined by the one thing everybody agrees on. And that's money. The rest of it is just a bunch of sentimental bullshit.
And now we've touched upon another of the major themes at play in this series.
Existentialism.
To someone like Revy, the only idea that matters is the idea that nothing ultimately matters. That's the only kind of mindset that can keep her going. There's another scene where she comments that everyone who lives their kind of life is the walking dead. She doesn't fear death because she doesn't see life as important to begin with.
It's a bleak outlook, but she's had a bleak upbringing.
Hey, you looking at me?
Why, you got a problem with that?
You're damn right I got a problem with that.
Well, then why don't you say what it is to my face?
Why should I want to do anything to your ugly face?
What'd you say to me, douchebag?
You heard what I said, asshole.
You think you got noisy neighbors?
You want to go around, dickhead?
Bring it on, I got all the time in the world.
The things you gotta do to get some quiet in this town. Hey, you with the big head! Think fast!
Rock and Revy have an interesting relationship. It's hard to imagine what this mild-mannered white-collar salaryman would have in common with a violent, abrasive, hot-headed gun bunny with a constantly itchy trigger finger. And yeah, it does make for an odd kind of chemistry. The defining moment for these two comes in the 7th episode. After 6 episodes of Rock taking abuse from Revy for being his meek and morally upright self, he finally grows some balls and tells her he's done taking her crap and he's got nothing to apologize for. Not the safest thing to say to someone like Revy, and it does indeed very nearly get him a bullet in the head. But somehow he manages to live long enough to get to her. And once all the yelling and fireworks are over, this happens. There are more indications of some romantic tension going on. This character named Etta occasionally asks Revy if she and Rock are doing it, to which Revy never gives a straight answer. And at one point, Etta comes on to Rock herself, and Revy's reaction can only be described as jealousy.
I thought you were gonna be back hours ago!
Baby, I got a little caught up, okay?
Oh yeah? And whose tits did you get caught up in?
Come on, baby. I pull in good money to give you this nice place.
This place is a hole, you dirtbag!
Yep, love is in the air.
Meet Roberta, the killer maid. The Lagoon Company is transporting a kidnapped boy who is the son of one of the wealthy South American cartels. Roberta is the family's maid who shows up looking for him. Laugh now, boys, while you can. This woman is freaking unstoppable. She steals a car by punching through a window, she drives it off an overpass while firing her gun, crashes it through a store window, and then gets out, no, smashes out, and resumes chasing them. Damn!
That maid is a killer robot from the future. The only difference is that we don't have Schwarzenegger here.
Hold on. Did someone just reference Schwarzenegger in an anime series?
The only difference is that we don't have Schwarzenegger here.
Why, yes, he did. And that's not all. Just listen to these.
He was yelling like a maniac right before we hit him. Just like William Holden in the Wild Bunch. Did you hear the password he gave us? May the force be with you? That is so lame.
Jimi Hendrix is calling me back! He got my message! He wants me to defeat the Klingons ASAP!
Right, why would either of you understand? You're the kind of people who spend their entire lives fiddling around with their guns or watching NYPD Blue.
Yes, this is an anime series that actually makes pop culture references. That's something you don't see every day. Well, I hope that got you in a light enough mood, 'cause now things are gonna get disturbing. There really was no getting around it. Sooner or later in this, we were gonna have to talk about these two.
I just gotta chill.
Call them Hansel and Gretel. Call them the Vampire Twins. A bit of a misnomer, but it's used. They don't actually have given names, but whatever you want to call them, their appearance marks the series' darkest point, and that's saying something. Romanian orphans who were forced to take part in pedophilic snuff films. Just deal with that concept if you've got the stomach for it. These twins became psychotic, sadistic killing machines. Like really, these kids are sick.
Every time you hammer a nail into his head, he twitches just like a fish.
You want to know the really weird part about these two? It's actually unclear which of them is the brother and which is the sister, or if they're both boys or both girls. See, they like to trade off the brother-sister personas from time to time. You know what else? They tend to show signs of, well...
Have I unsettled you enough yet? Do you need to pause the video and go take a Pepto-Bismol? Okay, I'll wait. Okay, moving on.
Greenback Jane is a hapless little nerd trying to make a name for herself in the counterfeiting racket. But getting in business with the wrong people, which, really, are there any of the right kind of people in this town, gets her in trouble, and she has to hire the Lagoon Company to protect her. And a good thing, too, because apparently she pissed someone off enough to send Roanaper's whole rogues gallery after her. There's Shenhua, a Taiwanese assassin with a machete, who we previously saw work with Revy on a job in the jungle. There's a partnership that didn't last. There's Sawyer, the creepy girl with the chainsaw who survived getting her throat slit and uses a voice box to talk. There's this pretentious douche who tries to make a big show of his entrance but gets knocked off the roof quicker than you can say drama queen. Then there's this big smiling fatso with a lighter that spouts big fountains of flame and who gets onto the boat with the Lagoon Company and Dutch whips the boat around hard, which sends him flying through the air, and Revy does this!
You're a rocket man, baby!
The final 6 episodes have Rock returning home to Japan to act as Balalaika's interpreter while she does some business with some Yakuza bosses. Revy comes along as his bodyguard, and since they're there in winter, that means Revy is finally forced to change out of her usual short shorts and into... Hold on, is she wearing a skirt? That was unexpected. So this high school girl named Yukio finds herself as the heir to a powerful Yakuza clan. Rock empathizes with this girl, who he sees as a lot like himself. pulled out of the normal, simple life and into this dark world of violence and death. He wants to give this girl a chance for a normal life, but he soon learns a hard lesson. You can't help someone who doesn't want it. While Rock remains content to straddle the light and the dark, living in Revi's violent world but never fully letting himself be lost to it, Yukio has made her choice and must resolve herself to it. Oh, and by the way, get a load of Yukio's bodyguard, Ginji. Remember what I said about how it's mostly women who are super badass in this series? Well, the operative word would be mostly in this guy's case. Check this out. Yeah, even Revi's impressed by that.
You gotta be careful who you answer a door for in this town. What's the password?
Mobile Suit Gundam.
Which one?
God, I can never remember that. Wing?
He's a pass. Gotta be quick. I think they're after me. Here's the rest of the package. What do you mean the rest?
Gotta go!
Holy crap, there's more!
Black Lagoon, Roberta's Blood Trail is a 5-part OVA that continues right from where the regular series leaves off. Roberta the Killer Maid is back for more here. Basically, her boss gets killed, and now she's out for blood. Where before you might have expected to find a metal Terminator skeleton under her skin, now she seems more likely to sprout fur and start howling at the moon. And eventually she even changes out of that maid's outfit, which I guess leaves it to be worn by... She's got a mini-maid! Every character who's still alive by this point in the series, well, almost every character anyway, makes a return appearance here, and it manages to do that without becoming overcrowded or contrived. I guess that's partly because characters on the series tend to have a pretty dismal life expectancy. Anyhow, this can be considered Rock's big shining moment. Yukio gave him some big things to think about. Where does he really stand in all this madness? Can he really just keep walking with one foot in the dark and one in the light forever? One thing he is sure of, he's had enough of not being able to save people. This one time, he's out to make sure somebody gets saved, whatever it takes. I'm a lot happier with where this ends things than I ever was with the regular series. Black Lagoon was never a series that really needed a definitive conclusion, but I'm satisfied at least that it chose to cap things with this.
I think I saw him go in that building.
Yeah, and he had the case. Let's get him.
Uh-oh, sounds like they're catching up with me. I better wrap this up quick.
Black Lagoon is not a series for the faint of heart. Anime does not get much more intense than this. It's a gritty, jagged, ugly, dirt-covered, bloodstained, and utterly spectacular gem. Definitely required viewing, so long as you've got the cojones for it.
Dutch, I know what I want for Christmas.
Hey, you in there, we know what you got.
Come out and hand it over.
Sorry, nobody's here.
Give us that case.
We want Black Lagoon.
Oh, shit! All right. Who wants some? Is that all you got?
I am Ace the Ravager, and I will destroy you.
Well, you know I asked for that. There's only one way to deal with this.
Bobby!
You don't fuck with an anime explorer.